Hello guys, hello YouTube. I am going to be giving you a Mythic Plus guide for Atal'Dazar. I'm going to try and be as detailed as I can. That is going to include the route, some things you need to watch out for, possible skips. You're going to be figuring out different pulls. I'm going to be telling you multiple routes, things that you can do to help you through the dungeon. The route that I currently take in this gives you almost perfect percentage, but this is my own personal route. I have developed this along through my own experience, through multiple groups that I've done, but this is not the end-all be-all route, I should say. This is, again, my own personal. It works for me, it works for the groups that I do. If you have a better one, obviously feel free. This is just a detailed guide from my perspective that might help out some of the newer players or even some of the experienced players that are doing Mythic Plus. As far as my background, I am currently a 1030 Raider IO Protection Paladin on Storm Rage by the name of Peach Pulse. You can look that up and you will see I am currently the #1 Prot Paladin on Storm Rage, one of the largest Alliance servers there is. So you know what I'm telling you is not bullshit. The video I'm also going to be showing you here is a +11 Atal'Dazar that I did last week, actually. I'm going to go through the video. I might pause it here and there, and I'm just going to go through it and tell you what I was thinking, what I was doing, tell you about possible different skips, the reasons we did certain things, stuff like that. Obviously, again, if you have a better route, please, throw it up in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking for new ways to learn this myself. But as this is sort of semi-early in the Mythic Plus season, I figured this might help out some people. So anyways, I don't want to, sit here and ramble on. Let's get this going. So again, this is a +11 Atal'Dazar, so we're starting here. We immediately go to the left. Now we're not actually going to clear all the way through here. We're just going to pull these first 2 packs. Now, as you all know, a +10 and higher has infested. Now that changes from week to week of which mobs are infested. This particular week, it was the honor guard on that very first pull. There's multiple ways you can deal with infested. You can CC with like an imprison, a sap, a sheep, a frost trap, paralyze, repentance. There's so many different ways you can CC and then pull the group away from the infested, kill the group, and then take care of the infested. But you can also just pull the entire group, focus down the infested first, and then when the Gahoon ads spawn, you obviously need to burn them down as quickly as possible. Usually you want to have a stun ready to go as soon as they spawn, and then just burst them down. If you do not, they will slowly start walking towards some of the mobs that you're currently killing, or if there are no mobs available, if you CC'd and you're killing it last, they will actually start traveling towards another pack. They can be slowed, they can be stunned, they can be trapped. Any CC you need to, they can be. They can be blown back from when they start their infest cast, all that. So that's the way to deal with infested. Anyways, we killed these first 2 packs. Then we're actually going to jump down right here, and we're going to kill these 2 Sky Screamers. Now, to be honest, we didn't actually mean to pull both of these. My fault, I kind of backed up into the other one. So we pulled double infested. This is not the way to do this. You just want to pull the one because they heal each other. So what we did is we immediately started kiting one away because they have an 8-yard range where they will heal each other, basically. That is another thing about infested is they will heal any mobs within 8 yards of them. So we pulled them away, burned down the one right here, took care of the Gahoon ads, and then started working on the second. It was definitely a mess up. We obviously got feared here as well. We're not perfect players. As you can see, that Gahoon ad's starting, so I immediately stunned it. We ended up pulling the next group. That's fine. It wasn't a big deal. We just recovered, picked it all up, and then got on the Sky Screamer. As these Sarats here, they don't have much HP. Um, they can kind of be bursted down or AoE down along with an infested ad if your group's DPS is strong enough. If it's not, again, just focus down the infested and then kill the Kahuna ads. That Sarad pack that's in the middle right there that we pulled was going to be pulled anyways. That is one of the routes. We pulled it a little earlier than we meant to. So anyways, we go down here and we're ready to kill Rezan. We're going to heal up a little bit. And we're going to tank him actually at the stairs. You can use either side of the stairs to line of sight his fear. Okay, and for you tanks, you need to be prepared for the serrated teeth that he does. That debuff extremely hurts. It puts a dot on you and it just chunks your health. So as you can see, I'm popping cooldowns. I even go over here. I even start healing up to help out the healer as we're LOSing. The pursuit comes about. You can bop this. A mage can ice block. A hunter can feign death, and he'll immediately stop the pursuit. Otherwise, if you don't have any of those sort of things to do, then you just basically kite him. The tank can stay back by the stairs, and he'll just immediately come right back. Again, be prepared for that dot. Tanks and healers. Healers, you need to be prepared for that because the tank's going to start taking major damage. This is on Tyrannical. I did not say the affixes, and I apologize for that. The affixes that I did this plus 11 on was Tyrannical, Skittish, Bursting, and Infested, obviously. So Tyrannical, he does hit hard. The good thing is it's only short burst periods, so you can usually pop some defensives in that time frame, and a healer can pop some bigger cooldowns because then he'll either do his fear or he'll do his pursuit, and that gives you a break to catch up. So it's not a constant throughout the entire fight you're taking this type of damage. It's only these short little burst windows. And you see I pop Guardian here. I saw I was getting low. I was like, all right, we'll pop Guardian, give the healer a little bit of break. Boss is almost dead. I won't need it up for a little while. So, that's all about managing your cooldowns. But, all right. So I'm actually going to speed this up a little bit because I don't want this video to be too long. So, apologize for the crappy video quality. All right, so we killed the boss. All right, and so we're going to go right back up. And as I said, this Sarad pack that was right here, we killed. Okay, and then we actually needed this Sky Screamer pack as well. So that's also, it's just purely for percentage. As you can see, we pulled it together with the Sarads. You can actually CC the Sky Screamer if your group, so feels like it. But as I said, the Sarads don't really have that much HP, so you can kind of AoE them down while focusing down the Sky Screamer. As you see, they were almost all about dead. So we immediately stunned the Kahunads, killed them, and now we're moving on. So that was the route we take to get just the extra percentage. And now the rest is sort of straightforward. There is a little stalker right here that you've got to kill. In this particular video and dungeon this week, it was infested. Again, the infested mobs change throughout, so it may not be infested the next week. So don't count on which ones are going to be infested and which ones not. You kind of have to take that by a weekly basis. We kill the honor guard here. Obviously, you want to focus down the totem first. As soon as you do, he's going to start spewing a bunch of crap, the poison and everything like that. It will go on the ground, and you can stand it, and it will hurt you. You can stun it, and it does seem to lessen the amount of damage that happens. But yeah. Next, we actually skip this group on the right. We pull this patrol right here. And it's also infested. We pulled them together, so we're going to burst down the infested and go through that. Now, these bulwarks right here that happen, you can actually stun those, and because they take reduced damage while they're in that bulwark. So you don't want them to be in there too long because that kills your DPS time. So You can stun them, you can knock them back, you can do multiple things. Again, infested spawn, we just burst down. And now if the Cahoon ads start getting away and you don't have stuns or something, another tactic that a tank can do, as you saw me just do right there, is you can actually kite the mobs away from the Cahoon ads, and they won't be able to get off their cast by the time your DPS kills it. All right, anyways, we go through here. We skip this next pack as well. There is a little stalker that's right there that they just pulled, and so we got to kill it real quick. We're just going to kill it singly because this next pack can be kind of rough. So we're just going to go ahead and knock it out real quick. Not that much else, just single target it down. Excuse me, guys. I apologize. And now we're going to pull this pack. We usually focus down the Witch Doctor first, and then we move on to the Shield Bearers, and then we can focus down the Totem, and then finally kill the Honor Guard. So again, you can, that Bulwark right there, you can stun it. Make sure you're interrupting that Witch Doctor. It can pump out a lot of damage with that Venom Blast. The Honor Guard is not too much of a threat until the Totem's killed, so you can kind of ignore him, but he will put a dot on the tank. As you can see, I have 2 stacks of it currently, and if you start taking just chunks and chunks of damage, you can stun it and just run away and let the debuff drop, like I did right there, and you'll be fine. But you kind of got to watch that. You know, always keep an eye on your health, you tanks and whatnot, and healers. You know, keep an eye on that debuff because it really, really hurts. Again, this wasn't even fortified. This was tyrannical. So fortified is going to hurt even worse. So we killed that pack, and now this is actually a pack that we're going to skip, but we're going to jump down and we're going to kill these 2 stalkers on the stairs first. Mainly for percentage, and so we don't have to deal with them later. So we jump down, we kill these 2 stalkers real fast. One of them happens to be infested. Make sure you usually let your tank jump down first and grab the aggro of them if he can. As you saw, our Warlock almost died right there because the stalkers immediately hit him. They almost one-shot him. I picked him up as quickly as I could, but if you jump down before your tank gets there, yeah, you're potentially going to kill yourself. So just be aware of that. Demon hunters can do their demon sight and actually find them, and hunters can flare, obviously, but other than that, you know, you just kind of got to do an AoE and hope that you're in the right place. Now here again, we skip this pack. There's multiple ways to skip this pack. We chose to shroud this pack for the beginning, and we're actually going to Warlock Gate out afterwards. And I will show you once we get to that portion. So we pull the boss. If you guys don't know, if you haven't done Atal'Dazar on Mythic level or above, you do have to kill all of the totems at the same time. If you kill one before the other, it will regenerate, and then you have to start all over because the boss does not actually activate until all the totems are dead at the same time. So you gotta, you know, there's multiple strategies of how to do this. The best one that I have seen is to put a single DPS on each totem. If you have higher DPS than others that are burstier or whatever, you know, they can get theirs down to say 20%, 15%, but they need to stop and be aware of dots and all that stuff because that'll continue ticking, and then they can go help somebody else on their totem until they're all around 20%, and then you just burst them all down at execute range and finish them off. Usually I start at the back of the room once he activates and then just slowly kite him around the room. You don't want to go too fast here. If you do, you're going to take up all your room, especially on a tyrannical boss. If your DPS is lower, you've got to be aware of that fact. So you want to kind of go a little slower here so you don't spend all your room. Healers range, you can kind of stay more towards in the middle. Melee, you just want to be on either side of the boss. You can even be in front of the boss. He has no frontal cleave. And then, yeah. Now, if you do skip that pack at the door that we did, you got to be aware of that when you're killing the boss, because as you can tell, like if we were to kill the boss here coming up here soon, we would actually end up pulling that pack. So I start kiting a little faster to make sure that he's going to die away from that doorway, because if the boss dies, the gate goes down, those mobs would immediately pull. So that's something to be aware of. So as you can see, I'm getting him away from that door as quickly as possible to get in there and get ready to skip that pack, because we don't want to pull that pack. It's It's a rough pack. It takes a long time to kill, and it's very intensive with the 2 honor guards. So and this is where we do a warlock skip. I don't know if they'll ever hotfix this or whatever, but a warlock can actually gate through the wall. It just requires angling your camera, and then you can just gateway right through it and skip that pack. Now you can do that on the way in and then shroud on the way out, or gateway back in and out. It does require a warlock, obviously, and you know, with the rogue you can shroud as well. Anyways, we go down here, we pull this, and you know, again, focus the witch doctors down, and then you can stun the shield bearers if you do. Demon hunters and monks are great for this because they have an AoE stun, so they can stun them both at once, whereas a paladin, you know, for example, only has a single stun. So I chose to use my stun on the witch doctors, as that's more of a threat to me and the group at the time, so that's what I chose to do. Other than that, you know, you just kill this back, and you can open up the lever. I really need to probably put this at a higher speed, and I apologize for that, guys. This is my first video of trying to make a detailed guide. Now, as you can see, we actually chose to CC right there, whereas on the other ones we didn't. There's no particular reason for that, other than I wanted to see how quickly it would take to do without, and it was more for science than anything. And it didn't end up working out, because as soon as he came out, he feared us, and nobody caught it. We weren't near it, so I ended up really not liking that strategy. And as again, the Sarahs didn't have that much health, so on the next pack, as you'll see, we chose to kill them all with the Sky Screamer, even though it's infested. Well, not this particular one, but the one on the other side. Also, never forget the infested ads. That is a common mistake that people forget. It's like, oh, the mob's dead, let's run away, we can, you know, go on to the next pack. Remember, you need to kill those infested ads. They will mess you up if you do not. So also, on these packs right here with the Sareds, it is a great idea to have your entire group stack, because that jumping out, as you can see, it really slows things down. Your ranged, your healers, they can just stack in melee with everybody else, and they'll go down a lot faster, I promise you, because everybody can get their full AoE off instead of, you know, 2 or 3 mobs jumping out. Now, we do need to pull these packs, or not these packs, but these 2 Sky Screamers that are on top of the pillars that you'll see in just a second. We're going to kill these Sareds real quick, and then we're going to pull both those Sky Screamers for percentage. Now, it also help as you're coming back from here, you won't pull them, and that must be afterwards. So anyways, we apparently did not do what I thought we were going to do here, and we ended up pulling this without the Sky Screamer again. I since again have not done that. Like again, pull the Sky Screamer with the Sareds. It's not really that much more damage. You can get more damage off with AoE. I thought we did that again, but apparently we didn't. I do that from here on out though, so just be aware. Again, make sure you kill the Cahoon-ads. As you can see, we all kind of spaced that one right there, and yeah. That's right, I don't think we kill the Sky Screamers on top until afterwards. We were checking to see the percentage and to see if we actually needed them. I'm pretty sure we do end up pulling them, but it'll be later on in the video. So, as you can see, we focused down the Augur that was infested. They immediately stun. That one was not getting off. You can see the cast, got a nice knockback. We ended up killing it. I'm kiting back away from the Cahoon-ad and back to normal. So the Augurs, they're probably one of the most dangerous mobs in here. They can get off their fiery enchant cast, and that's what puts all the red circles on the ground that you've got to get out of, and can be a real pain in the butt. So usually you want to focus them down first. Their wildfire isn't exactly light either. It hits pretty hard. The honor guards are kind of just, you know, regular melee whatever mobs, and they don't do much. So up here we do We do pull this priestess on the right, and we actually pull it to the stairs over there on the left to group them up. And we couldn't pull the other priestess on the other side because it was infested. So we ended up, again, pulling this to the stairs and pulling those two mobs again for percent. So that's what you got to do. And again, we focused on the augur and the priestess. Priestess because it heals, and the augur because it's dangerous. The juggernaut will always go to the furthest target away. So if you didn't know that, if you're one of the ranged players and you're the furthest away from the group, the juggernaut's always, for the most part, going to charge you, and that charge can really, really hurt. So just be aware of that. As you can see, went after our warlock. This was not fortified, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But yeah. Anyways, we pull this infested priestess. We've got to kill it because if you don't kill it and you pull the boss, it will pull. So you don't want to deal with an infested mob in the middle of the boss, so you need to pull both priestesses on either side. We're going to kill him, kill the two Gahunads, which I'm letting my group take care of, and then we're going to pull this big pull. Now we do trap the infested here, so we don't have to deal with it until later. As you can see, we kind of pop cooldowns a little bit because this boss, you don't really need your cooldowns for him, DPS wise. The pack is more dangerous than the boss, even on Tyrannical. This boss is currently an absolute joke as long as you do the mechanics right. You do the mechanics right, I don't care if it's a plus 20, she's going to go down pretty easily. So it is completely okay to go ahead and pop your cooldowns. Most groups prefer it. You're going to get more use out of them on this pack because this pack can be dangerous if you don't get it down pretty fast, especially more so on fortified weeks. So just be aware of that. Anyways, finishing up these, and then we're going to pull that infested priestess and then get ready to pull the boss. So here we go. We're going to pull the boss, or excuse me, pull the priestess. And if you do get the transfusion, she does put down blood boils. So as you can see, jumps in it, and then that starts chunking the priestess. So don't be afraid to jump in a blood pool. It's not going to kill you. And then we're going to take care of these infested ads. As there's really no mobs around, they don't actually go anywhere. It's like one of the first times they don't try to go to another pack because there's nothing around. Anyways, here we go. We're going to pull this boss. This boss is pretty simple. It's actually really, really simple. There's multiple ways you can do it. You can choose to CC the ads that come out right there. That's Spirit of Gold. We do choose to CC, and you can kill them. It just depends on what your group wants to do. There's multiple ways to CC them. You can root them, you can trap them, you can blind them, you can obviously stun them and everything. I highly recommend the tank go and pull the boss next to the pool that he's going to grab, and then either through a voice comm or in chat, you kind of decide which other group members are going to get their blood pools. Make sure that you are watching those timers and you get in those right away, because if you do, as you can tell when we get in these blood pools, it just starts chunking her health. She goes down super fast, and your DPS almost doesn't matter. So that's the most important thing on this boss, is getting in all of those blood pools. Even that little second delay there that our warlock had really counts. So as you can see, she's almost dead. We chose to just burn her at this point. We didn't really care about anything else because she was so low of health. So we just kind of let the ads do whatever the hell they wanted, and we chose to just go ahead and kill the boss and start working towards getting the other boss. Now, as you can see, we didn't actually hit our percentage, and that's where I was talking about these sky screamers on top of the pillars. That's what we're going to end up pulling here. There's two of them, one on either side, on the left and right, and we pull those for percentage, and that finishes off the easy percentage. And they're only singles, and you don't have to pull them both at once. You can pull them one at a time, or you can pull them both at once. Completely up to you and your group and how you want to do it. This is how we chose to do it. We had plenty of time, so we weren't in any rush. We ended up pulling the second one down about halfway through the first one. And just make sure if you do pull them both down as you get those interrupts. The last thing you want to do is get feared here, because you can easily get feared into that middle Dino pack there, and things can turn ugly really fast for you. That's probably the worst pack in this dungeon to have to pull. So you want to skip it usually at all costs. It's not worth the percentage. There's so many other easier mobs to pull than that Dino pack. So anyways, we get up here. We're about to pull the last boss. You want to avoid those spiders on the stairs. They will leave a puddle and they will hurt you. And that just wastes time because the healer has to heal you up before you pull the boss. Now this boss, there's multiple ways to do it. And when I say multiple ways, I'm talking multiple ways. There's a lot of ways to do it. It just depends on your group, your comp, and how you want to go about it. We chose to begin tanking her right where she's at and pull the soul rings out and stack them up and burn them down. Now, as this is an 11, there are a lot more of the little spiders, as you will see, and that matters greatly because they, get big and they start chasing after you, and if you do get hit by one of them, you will leave a puddle on the ground, and that limits the amount of room you have in the room. So make sure you kill those soul rings. If they do get to the boss, they will do an AoE explosion on your entire group for damage. You don't want that to have happen. So make sure you're always taking care of those soul rings. Get them as far away as you can. As far as your tanks are concerned, make sure you save your active mitigation for skewer. That really hurts. You should not need any more active mitigation outside of that unless something happens, accidentally. And then the wrecking pain cooldown, the cast that she does, that has to be interrupted every time. If it gets off, it will do about, I'd say, 80% on tyrannical to whatever group member she targets. It can kill them pretty easily, especially if they aren't topped off. So that wrecking pain is extremely important to interrupt. As you can see, I'm starting to move out of there because I'm seeing the spiders, and that's where we kind of just start kiting around. And as we can see them getting moved towards the boss, I just keep kiting them away to help out our melee. So the melee doesn't get hit by one and leave a puddle. So kiting is the easiest way. You can kind of kite wherever you want. It's generally a bad idea to kite into that little cubby right there because you can trap yourself in. But you can easily just kite around the room on the outside edges. The reason you want to stay on the outside edges is because your group, when they get soul ring, can go to the opposite end of wherever the boss is for that soul ring, stack up and kill those to give you as much time to kill those soul rings as possible. So we're just moving right along here. As I can see, the spiders are starting to come, so I was like, well, I need to get out of there. So I popped my horse and got out of there real quick. Now a rogue can cloak and just run through all those spiders, and it'll help clear them up. A hunter can turtle through them. A rat paladin can bubble through them. A holy paladin can bubble through them. You can use kind of any immunities or whatever, or if you have like big damage reduction cooldowns, you can do that. So multiple things to do to get rid of the spiders if you get too many. If you're getting overwhelmed, it's a good idea to just clear them out. As you can see here, they're all coming. I'm trying to get away. Luckily, the boss is almost dead, so yeah. But anyways, that is Atal'Dazar. As I said, there's multiple ways to do this, guys. Again, my way is not the end-all be-all way to do it. That's just the way that I do it currently. I do like my strategy as it gives almost perfect percentage without going over, and it does require certain skips though, with either the Shroud or the Warlock Gate. Now you can choose to kill that pack, and there's nothing wrong with killing that pack. And you can just skip some other things. Basically, like say those two Sky Screamers on top of the pillars, you can skip those and pull that pack and kill that for the percent. There's multiple ways you can do it. but I was hoping to go through here and show you guys basically how I did the dungeon, and if you like it, that's cool. Please give me a comment, give me a like. You don't have to sub. I'm not really about that. I'm just trying to help people out. If you do want to know more, or you want to see me live, Pulse Online is my Twitch TV. I stream almost every day. I'm trying to push very, very high Mythic Plus keys all the time, and I do raid on occasion. But if you'd like to see more, hit me up on that Twitch link. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. You guys have a good one, and if you like it, let me know in the comments, and I will try to do more for the other dungeons. And I may update an Atal'Dazar if I find out a better way. Hopefully it will be a shorter video. I hope this wasn't too long, guys, but I'm going to shut up now and wish you all a very good Mythic Plus runs in the future. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.